Nu-Trix here today, and I'm going to show you something that most people don't expect. It's the Arturia Minibrute. Well, we know the Minibrute, yeah, but this one is V. Minibrute V for virtual. So Arturia came out with a virtual version of their own Minibrute synth. I find this really cool. It's a synthesizer that I've always been interested in having. Never came up to owning one, but it's still in my list of cool, aggressive synth that exists. Let's just explore what you have. There's stuff that in the virtual realm you have more than the original. So it looks like this. You have your pitch bend and your modulation. You have the filter. Right away you go, there's something different. There's effects on it. So yes, there's effects section here. So you have chorus, distortion, tape, reverb, and you click on them and you have a lot of options. So you basically can select any one of this and you go through these effects. So this is really powerful. And you know that Arturia is making effects for a long time, so they're not cheap. They're really cool sounding and high quality, and it's the same thing that you expect from them. So you've got the modulation section here with the chorus, flanger, and phaser. You got dynamics, compressor, and multiband. You got filters, in EQ. You got distortion, two different ones, distortion and bit crusher, and you got all everything that is reverb and delay itself. And you can also click none to have none of it. And well, basically you can just wave folder here, dual fold. So even if you're in distortion, you still have a lot of options of what type of distortion you're looking for. So very, very powerful, very complete. If you in reverb, then you can have still control about the high pass and the low pass of the reverb and all that. So very complete. If I turn them off, because the original does not have any effect, and you go back here, if you want to know more about it, there's so many videos about the Minibrute that you can actually see, look at them and see what it works. But basically you have one oscillator here that has multiple shapes that you can turn on at the same time. You got the volume of each of them, and you've got control over these. So when you think of this one here, you got the ultra saw and the ultra saw amplitude. No ultra saw, just the saw. Ultra saw, you got more of them. And the speed. You got this square, the ultra saw doesn't do anything. So this is just for this one. For the square, you have this. The pulse width. And the amount of envelope that goes to that. Envelope is envelope here, this one. Metalizer. So you're changing the shape of the triangular wave. And then you got the envelope. How much of the envelope goes to that? So here come in and move in and out. And the sub oscillator, do you want it? 2 octave down, 1 octave down, and the shape. So very quick to create that. What's interesting about the Brute is the fact that you have the cutoff. This filter has resonance. You can have the envelope to control it. We have his own envelope for it. It's going to be low pass, bend pass, high pass, and notch filter. But you have the Brute factor, which is, in my view, some type of distortion that compresses the sound. You can have it more vintage, so it's going to be type of a little bit out of tune, or get the unison. Now there's something hidden here in the Arturia logo. You click here, you got pitch, wave, gain, cutoff, feedback, and envelope. And if you want to know what these are, like every time you look into any type of synth from Arturia, you go click here on the little settings, and there's a section called tutorials, and you should follow this. It's quick, takes you about 10 minutes. You go through everything, and it tells you about what all of these is. So if hardware options, you go okay, And it's going to say, well, you've got polyphonic and glide, this one at the bottom. And yes, this one is polyphonic. That's a plus. It does stuff that the original Minibrute does not do, which is a monophonic synth. In this case, it becomes polyphonic. So pitch, say that if you're in pitch mode, then the dispersion amount for the oscillator frequency between voices. Wave, apply a voice dispersion of ultrasaw and pulse width and triangular wave shape. Gain, adjust the voice dispersion for various gain stage, and cutoff, define the dispersion amount for the cutoff frequency between voices. And the feedback here, adjust the voice dispersion for the resonance and brute factor, and envelope, set the amount of dispersion applied to envelope between voices. I think this is pretty subtle in the way you play, and it's more about making it more analogish and tuned to the way you work. So you're going to play with this when you need to, but as you see, when you don't have it, most people won't even go there. They're just going to play with the synth here. Keep in mind this is there. So advantage, there's polyphonic. Of course, there's a little tweak like this here. There's effects that don't exist on the real synth. And you have presets. You have presets, which the original doesn't have a preset memory. It's all analog, so you have to tweak it. Responds to aftertouch. That's it. Another great synth from Arturia. In this case, having a Minibrute, instead of having it in the flesh, have it in the virtual world. Stay safe, make more music, and see you soon. Cheers.